I'm Tom Ingersoll, and I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the National Institute for Mathematical and Biological Synthesis. And I'm here studying white nose syndrome in bats. And white nose syndrome is a disease that's affecting bats. It's caused by a invasive fungus that we believe was introduced from Europe. And it causes a deadly disease in hibernating bats, which are most of the bats that live in the northeast portion of the United States. This is important because bats are important. Bats are a huge fraction of mammalian diversity in North America. They're about a fifth of all mammals worldwide, and so it's important. They're an important fraction of all the total number of mammalian species in the world. And they're also important to North American communities, especially North American forest communities. Bats are important predators of forest pests, such as many moths and beetles, whose larvae attack and kill or injure trees. They're also important in controlling agricultural pests, other beetles, moths, caterpillars, things like that. And so they're very important for the ecological communities that they're a part of. The work is also important because this is not the first invasive disease that we've had in wild populations in North America. For instance, Dutch elm disease, spruce budworm, many other invasive organisms have been introduced from overseas and have created large amounts of damage to North American ecological communities. And so we're learning a process of studying these diseases when they're in the early stages of invasion, and when the invading organism may not necessarily be easy to detect. And white nose syndrome is an excellent example of that. The disease is hard to detect in its early stages. And then later on, when it's been around for a year or two in a particular area, then it precipitates large amounts of mortality in bats. So we use mathematical models, a variety of mathematical models, to describe various disease processes and factors associated with the disease. For example, one of the things we do is statistical modeling of trying to determine what environmental covariates affect survival in the bats, given that the disease is present in their area. For example, we think that in areas with warmer winters, it may be more likely that certain vulnerable bat populations will be more persistent than they are in areas where they have to hibernate for longer. So when they have to hibernate a long time, it causes them to be more vulnerable to the disease. So this is one of the things that we're studying with statistical models. We also use mechanistic models that simulate processes that we expect to be occurring in the disease, and then we take the results of these mechanistic models and then compare them to what we actually observe in the real world.
For more information about postdoctoral fellowships at the National Institute for Mathematical and Biological Synthesis, visit our website at www.nimbus.org.